Hey, what's up? This is Saintjoe here with Point Blank. In this series, we're taking a look at using the mixer and routing options inside of Maschine 2. In this video, we'll focus on adding some effects on the master bus, as well as some basic arranging and automation options. If you want to learn more about Maschine, make sure you check out our Maschine Weekend course at Point Blank LA by going to pointblankla.net. So let's get into it. All right, so now let's take a look at scoping the sound of the track overall. First thing I want to do before we start getting into adding any master effects or anything like that is I want to go through and check my levels. So in that drum group, I think I want to go through and adjust the level of some of the sounds just to get the overall sound that I'm going for. Of course, this process is just about listening and finding how you want everything to kind of go together. So just go through there a little bit and maybe, let's see, over here on this bass. Thinking I may want to add a compressor, but first I'm going to go over to the master. Now, one thing on the master, I try not to go overboard. I really don't do a lot of processing on my master bus. I don't like to do a limiter. I like to keep my level of the master output between kind of -5 and -3 dB. And sometimes I'll throw an EQ or a little bit of saturation, just depending on what I'm going for. So in this one, I kind of want to throw an EQ just to kind of open some things up. So let's open that. And again, I'll just kind of listen and go through and choose the frequencies that I want to enhance or reduce. And if you don't know which frequencies you want to go for, a really quick and old school method is just to go through, turn the gain up on your different frequency channels and kind of sweep through the frequencies to see which area you want to find. But I kind of know where I want to go, kind of in the high end and maybe a little bit in the mid, but we'll see. So again, for me, just open it up a little bit with that EQ just to boost a little bit of the high end, tame a little bit of that high mid section. Really simple. Like I said, I don't do a lot of processing. Of course, if you want to post this directly online or something like that, then you may want to throw a limiter on there and different things like that. I tend not to put limiters and everything. So I kind of got that where I want, but I'm still hearing that I want maybe a compressor on that bass just to let it stick out a little bit. So you can see throwing that compressor on the bass allows me to bring the level down a little bit, but it still lets it kind of punch out and in the whole mix. So let's see, maybe let's go over here. Actually, let's go over here to, I'm kind of feeling like I want to maybe do a delay or something on this snare, maybe. Maybe just on that clap. Let's see. So we can go right here and just add beat delay. So I don't want it the whole time. So I'm gonna make a separate pattern for this. Just go in here and duplicate this. And on this pattern, I want to automate it just at the end. Let's bring this up so we can see it. I want to go over here, add a modulator, right click, for the beat delay. I want to automate the mix. Now we can just draw this in. I could do it from the controller as well, but I'll just turn on my paintbrush, turn it all the way down up here, and then over here, right where this last hit is, I want to turn it on. Increase that feedback a little bit so it kind of fades out. Now, one thing you want to remember when you're drawing in or doing automation like this, if you notice we have two different patterns now. If I go back to this pattern, it's just on because I didn't automate anything. So you want to make sure that you go in and turn that off. I'll just pull it all the way down on that pattern. So now I have two different patterns. That's just one thing to keep in mind. Also, I kind of use arranging and automation together, like how I want to arrange the track determines some of the things that I automate. But right now I'm here and I want to make another pattern here, just a little change. And on this one, I want to maybe take out the hi-hats just so we can start getting into some basic arranging. I had the paintbrush on. I'll just get rid of that. Now I have a pattern that sounds like this. If you notice, since we duplicated it from the one that we automated the delay on, we don't hear the delay there. So we had that. Let's kind of get into a little bit of some arranging. Let's just make a couple scenes. And these scenes, I'll just go in and I know I want my first scene to kind of be an intro, but first I want to go into these and kind of add just some basic patterns. So we'll add that one there. I'm not going to do the full arrangement. This is just kind of how I work. I go through and kind of come up with some different arrangements, maybe start with a first, intro and kind of a chorus type of section just to get some ideas down. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is when I want to put that pattern. And then I want the bass in both of these. So throw the bass in there. And I'll throw the bass in this one as well. And I got that. And then, of course, I want my pattern here. But what I'm hearing is I want to kind of do some automation in the intro. So I'm going to take these out. I want to do actually, let's leave the bass in. And I want to do some automation just on this part. So maybe like at the end of that bar, I want to reverse it. So what I'm going to do, you see right here on the group, I got this grain delay. So kind of right there. Put this in so we can see where we're at. So kind of towards the end, I want to automate. So I'll just go in here And I'm gonna add the grain delay, and I want to automate the reverse. So I'm gonna come down here and right towards the end of the pattern, I want to reverse it. I like how that sounds. And again, this is just some different ways that I come up with automation ideas with my arrangement. So I want that intro to just go into a regular pattern. So of course I want to go in here and duplicate this pattern. And remember, on this one, we don't want this on at all. So on that second pattern, so just go through and erase that on that second pattern. And now I want the first pattern to be in this scene. And then I want it to go into that second pattern. And we'll just throw the second pattern over here again. And if I was, doing a fuller arrangement, I'll probably go through and make a different pattern with the chords just to have some variety throughout the track. But this is just a general idea to kind of give you a feel of going through arranging and dealing with some different automation ideas, so we kind of hear it together. And as I listen to it together, I want to go into this one, and maybe I'll just add another scene. And in that scene, I'll kind of bring in a different drum pattern. So we'll throw this one in here still. We'll throw that bass in there. But then I'll throw in that other drum pattern that I made. Throw in 3. And that way, so let's just listen to that. You can kind of hear how it transitions. So you get the idea. Again, I kind of use arranging and automation together. How I arrange things sometimes determines how I want to automate, or I'll hear different ideas, like maybe if I'm transitioning from an intro to a verse or from a verse to a chorus, I may hear different things that I want to kind of quickly draw in and automate, or just change up some different patterns. Like I said, if we were really going into a full arrangement, I'd probably do some different patterns for the chords, kind of change them up a little bit throughout the song. But you get the idea. You can see we can go in, add some different patterns for the drums, change little things, automate delays, and just overall enhance the sound quality of the track. So it's not just about adding effects to the master. You can also go in, automate effects, add some different change-ups and things like that. So the main thing, of course, is just to experiment, have fun, and go with whatever feels good and sounds good to you.